So you're dealing with diabetes, and it can feel, well, overwhelming, right? But what if the most powerful tool you have is actually your dinner plate? Today, we're going to break down how healthy eating can help you take control and feel fantastic without giving up all the foods you love. Let's dive in. Especially if you're newly diagnosed, man, your head is probably just swimming with questions about what you can and can't eat. It's a ton to process, for sure. But I'm here to tell you, it's going to be simpler than you think. Okay, but here's the really good news. The power to get a handle on this, it's sitting right there on your plate, 3 times a day. Your plate is where the change begins, one meal at a time. This isn't just about managing a condition, it's about unlocking a healthier, more energetic you. All right, first things first, let's kind of reframe how we think about food. From now on, healthy eating isn't some chore, it's your greatest ally. This is what's going to help you keep your blood sugar stable and protect your health for the long haul. You know, I love this way of looking at it. A healthy eating plan is not some big, scary list of don'ts. Think of it more like a puzzle. The goal is to fit all the different pieces, your fruits, your veggies, proteins, maybe even an occasional treat, together to create a full picture of good health. Okay, so to really get why these food choices matter so much, we gotta know what we're aiming for. And it really all boils down to 3 key numbers, something you can think of as your diabetes ABCs. Yep, these are the big 3. A1C, which is a snapshot of your blood sugar over time, your blood pressure, and your cholesterol. Think of these like the dashboard on your car, but for your health. Keeping these numbers in a healthy range is our #1 goal here. First up, A is for A1C. This test gives you a picture of your average blood glucose over the last 3 months. Now, for a lot of folks, the goal is to get that number below 7%. But, and this is super important, you've got to talk to your doctor to figure out what your personal goal should be. Next, we have B for blood pressure. This just measures how hard your heart is working to pump blood. The target here, for most people with diabetes, is to keep it under 140/90. And you guessed it, what you eat plays a huge part in getting that number where it needs to be. And finally, C is for cholesterol. And this really breaks it down nicely. You've got your LDL, that's the bad stuff that can, build up and clog your blood vessels. And then you've got HDL, which is the good stuff. It's like the cleanup crew that helps get rid of the bad cholesterol from your system. Okay, so we know our targets are ABCs. The big question is, how do we use food to hit them? Well, I'm going to give you a toolkit with 3 super simple but really powerful strategies you can start using with your very next meal. These 3 skills, they're your foundation. First, learning to decode nutrition labels. Second, getting a real handle on portion sizes. And third, using a simple visual guide called the plate method. If you can get these down, you are absolutely on the right track. First tool in the box, reading that nutrition label. And listen, don't get intimidated by all the numbers. Just zoom in on these 4 things. Look for foods lower in saturated fat. Check for 0 trans fat. Be aware of added sugars and try to choose products with less salt or sodium. That quick scan can make a world of difference. Our second tool is all about portion sizes, and this is a real game changer. There's a huge difference between a serving size, what the label says, and a portion, which is what you actually decide to eat. It is so easy to pour a bowl of cereal that's really 2 or 3 servings without even realizing it. Being mindful of this is key. And here's the best part. You don't need to carry measuring cups around. You've got a perfect guide with you all the time, your own hand. For example, a serving of protein, like chicken or fish, it's usually about the size of your palm. And your fist, that's a pretty good estimate for about 1 cup of something like rice or pasta. Simple, right? And that brings us to our third and maybe the most visual tool, the diabetes plate method. And honestly, it couldn't be simpler. Imagine your plate. You're going to fill half of it, with non-starchy veggies like broccoli, spinach, or peppers. Then fill 1/4 with a lean protein and that last quarter with grains or starchy foods like brown rice. That's it. Okay, you've got your toolkit now. So let's talk about the specific foods you'll be putting on that plate. This is where the rubber meets the road, putting all this great knowledge into action at the grocery store and in your kitchen. So next time you're at the grocery store, picture your cart. Load it up with colorful non-starchy veggies. Swap out white bread for whole grain. Reach for lean proteins like chicken and beans. Choose whole fruits instead of juice. And make water your best friend. It's really all about making these small, smart swaps that add up big time. And hey, let's talk about fats for a second, because not all fats are created equal. You want to be eating more of the good stuff, the healthy fats you get from things like olive oil, avocados, and nuts. And at the same time, you want to limit the unhealthy fats, like what you find in butter, full-fat dressings, and cream. Okay, here's a really important thing to remember. Out of everything you eat, carbohydrates, the stuff in bread, rice, fruit, and starchy veggies, have the biggest, most direct effect on your blood sugar. This is especially critical to know if you take insulin, because understanding your carbs helps you get your dose right. Wow, okay, so we have covered a lot of ground, right? From the big picture ABCs to the hands-on tools for your daily meals. But the biggest thing I want you to take away from all this, as we start to wrap up, is that you can absolutely do this. You've got this. You know, this quote from the CDC just hits the nail on the head. Look, this is not about punishment or feeling deprived. The whole point of making these wise food choices is simply to help you feel good, strong, and energetic every single day. So, as we finish up here, I want to leave you with just one question to think about. With all this new information, what's the single most important action you can take to start moving forward? And the answer is simple. Reach out. You do not have to figure all this stuff out on your own. Talk to your doctor or a dietitian. They can help you build a personalized plan that works for your life, your tastes, and your goals. Seriously, remember, you are not alone in this.